Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. What a wonderful week it is. Um, Wedding day that I am planning is this Friday. Oh, I'm excited to see the outcome of that, experience that. Just doing a little mini episode today. I always like bringing it back to me. Hi, I'm the host, M. um, Less is more. And I think a lot of the times with what the world is, the distractions, the chaos, the noise, I think it's easy to kind of just lose sense of priority or focus on the things that matter most. And I feel like explaining less is more is important in the sense of a lot of what we have these days. If you really sat back and asked yourself, do we really need them? If we didn't have them, what would that be like? Would it be the end of the world? Would we still function? Would we still, kind of still have what we need to accomplish things or be okay? And I always say I'm grateful for the age that I am because I had the era. Half my life was, well, a little more than half now, without even an existent phone. My first phone was a flip phone to versus now. My phone barely ever leaves my hand. And, whether it's material things, whether it's things that we just accumulate over time, whether it's in your appearance, how we maintain ourselves, this and that. I just feel like maybe we stress ourselves out a little more than we need to, because if we didn't have material things like a house, a car, when things went bad, like breakdowns or maintenance or leaks or these types of things, if it was non-existent, we wouldn't have to worry about either. Yeah, it would create an inconvenience of, oh, okay, not having maybe your own home or not having reliable transportation. But when you think about it, at one point in time, people lived and survived so well without 90% of what we have these days. So I think the amount of importance that we put into material things, like, oh my God, I have to have this, I have to have that. It's just like, mm, women, you take away the hair extensions, the weave, the eyelashes, the nails, all those extra things. That's less we have to worry about. And natural beauty is better sometimes. So it's like, I feel like less is more is a deeper quote than just those three words. And I think the lesson is that just wanting people to understand the things that truly have value, that are really important, are things like love, kindness, giving somebody, a smile or a hug if you know them personally. You look at these TikTok videos, you see the looks on people's faces when they simply receive like a rose or those nice little notes that they open, when they read when the person walks away, and you just see the change in their demeanor. And it kind of heightens this awareness of how many people are probably really walking around jacked up, hurt, not okay, because it's so easy to get distracted by things like social media or going out every weekend or trying to keep up with the crowd, or, well, if I have downtime, well, I could be doing this, I can be doing that. Like, I've had to become conscious of that myself, of just because I have a moment of downtime doesn't mean I have to be doing something just to feel productive, or like, oh, well, there's this that can be done, that can be done. Because it really just turns into anxiety. And what I'm learning is the most important thing is really to just take care of your physical. Pay attention to your body. Like, and I understand there's things that are going to require your time. They obligate you, without compromise of not, not being able to do them. I get that. People have responsibilities, people have kids, people have jobs. But it's also a matter of listening to your body. And your body will tell you when you need to kind of just take a minute, take a break. And a lot of the time, whatever you have to do is probably going to be right there once you rest for half hour or take a day to yourself, because you really just get back at it rejuvenated, better mindset, clearer mind, you know what I mean? And I think the importance of paying attention to your physical is so it doesn't deplete your mental, because once your mental depletes, now you risk affecting your emotional and even your spiritual, if that's something you believe in. So our bodies are actually more amazing than we think, in the sense of it will communicate to us what we need, when we need it, and how we need it. But just reverting back to the distractions of everyday life, the chaos, the noise, the influences, it's so easy to just get off track. Well, I could be doing this, but let me just scroll. Oh, TikTok's right. Next thing you know, it's you've spent 3 hours not being productive. And I think if the awareness was heightened with that, we would actually accomplish so much more. If we didn't get so caught up on the material things or the facades or like the distractions, it would actually take us back and remind us of, like, when's the last time you checked in on so-and-so person? When's the last time you helped a homeless person with something, or a regular person who just simply needed help with something? And I feel like, sadly, those basic things like manners, respect, kindness, consideration, extending a helping hand maybe when somebody doesn't ask, those things are so far forgotten about, and it's become this like defensive world we live in, like to each his own, like, survival mode, or, I gotta do the best, I gotta do the most, like, I gotta be the baddest in the room. Like, listen, like, success is silent. To be the baddest in the room, you ain't always got to be the loudest. You ain't always got to be the flashiest. You don't always got to be the one revealing the most skin or doing the most with a sexy outfit. Being your true self is actually more attractive. I don't think people really understand that or appreciate that, where when you are comfortable in your own skin, when you are authentic, when you're true to yourself, that in itself is such a superpower, because it generates an energy and an aura that creates a uniqueness from everybody else. And I think what happens is people are so busy trying to perfect everything, trying to create what they think things should be, versus letting it happen naturally, getting to know yourself, allowing yourself to get to know yourself without forcing it or making it be what you think the world wants it to be. And if we did that less, I think it would take the edge off for people more and help people to be more kind, want to be more helpful, be more courteous, think of others before themselves. And it sounds real simple, it sounds basic, but like, what if it could be, without all the overthinking, without controlling factors that we have no control over, and just really being okay with that. Holidays are coming, cold weather is coming, and like, how nice would it be to just revert back to the tradition of things, that quality time, spending time with people, but it not necessarily having to be a party or shots to the face or drinks or such a heightened experience. And if it's not that, it means it's boring or it's not fun. Those types of things where it's just like, you can leave a room and a conversation so fulfilled, and y'all were just sitting there sipping on some hot chocolate. But if you surround yourself with the right energy, the right kind of mindsets that turns into the right kind of conversation, those are the things of value. Those are the things of quality. And those are the things that pour into you. I think there is nothing wrong with being conscious of when you leave a certain place, a certain group of people, really sitting there and taking a minute and asking yourself, how did you just feel leaving that place or person? And if you feel equal or better, that might be the right environment or person to be around. But if you feel less than what you felt when you walked into the room or met up with that person, that means they're really not benefiting you or pouring into. And it's not that you're ever going to forget about those people, because those are also opportunities where we can pour into others and help others escalate or, share your journey with them, which is great if it goes that way. But sometimes it always doesn't. And that's okay. But there's a fine line of not letting yourself be dragged down or drained just because that person is so comfortable where they are and they're too fearful to move forward because of fear of the unknown. So the most important thing is sharing your information, sharing knowledge, and what they do with it is their responsibility. If they come with you, they come with you, and if they don't, you leave them where they are and you check in with them every so often. But at the end of the day, as adults, with the knowledge that we have, with the access to things that we have, people have to take accountability, and have a consciousness of how they can be helping themselves and what they could be doing better if they feel like they can. So there is nothing wrong with, I just feel a little drained or I don't feel fulfilled, when I'm in that environment or with that person. Disconnect, remove yourself. Do not explain why plans might have changed last minute and you just don't feel like being there or you don't feel like hanging out with that person. We need to be in a season of not feeling guilty or selfish for speaking up for ourselves, protecting our peace, and having backbone of saying, no, I just don't want to do that, or no, I am not okay with that. We deserve to do that. And if certain things or people around you are not doing it for you, then yes, it is your responsibility to do it for yourself. And if you're not, we cannot complain about the things we are not choosing to improve or work on and help for ourselves. And at times, you can't wait on people to do it for you because that's not always going to happen. So consciousness, awareness, acceptance of things for what they are, are so many important ingredients to the true trusting of the process and growth if it's something that you really want. Not sitting here saying that it is not going to be difficult. There are going to be moments that you want to give up. You're going to lose faith, have doubt. Of course, absolutely. But the most important thing is taking care of your mind, what you tell yourself, how you speak to yourself, what's and who is pouring into you. And those are the true investments in life. Those are the true valuable things. Mental health is a real thing and it's nothing to be ashamed of. And if anybody is interested in therapy, I am a personal assistant at a therapy office, hiding place therapy. You can contact me directly or you can call the office 716-201-0522 and people are here to help. There's nothing wrong with therapy. Mental health is a real thing. And it does go deeper than just mental health because when you take care of your mental, everything else falls into place and you feel better overall. And that's where you are able to genuinely accomplish and conquer things without feeling like you're doing so much on your own because you don't have to.